A boy was born in the land of Freeland, in the town of Mistal, near the northern river named Frost. The river led to a waterfall which fell to the beach, from where it reached the western sea where a mist ever hung, blown down from the mountains in the east. This town was smaller than the great cities to the east and to the south. The stronghold of Citadel, located towards the south along the wooden highway, was locked deep within the center of the forest called Thickwood. It was named so because of the tree branches which bound against each other as if moving by will. The trade for the lumber of Thickwood was a lucrative business, and the wood had great value across all the lands. Yet there came a price at acquiring this valuable resource, as an eerie phenomenon lingered in those woods. It was known that when one travelled upon the road cut through the dense forest during the night, at some unlucky hour, the trees would creak and stretch over and cover the night sky, enclosing the road in a dark tunnel, bringing vengeance upon the ones who cut them. But the town where the boy was born was an old farm town on a hill, with a church building in the center, surrounded by shops and homes between cobbled streets, spiraling out from the center where the church stood, with its high and dark paneled tower, a black and multicolored clock, and white indicators of the days, tides, cycles, seasons, and eclipses. A black crane stood upon the pinnacle with spread wings, blown to and fro by the wind. The church had special beams brought all the way from the great central city in the east, for they were wrought out of steel that could last forever. This made the church glow in the moonlight as the beams stood out embedded between the stone and shone brightly in the sun of the day. Mistal was a cold town, being so close to the western frost, where hanged a mist just over the rooftops of the houses where the church tower towered above. The boy lived in a cottage along the inner rim, just to the right and behind the church. Within this cottage there was a fireplace and kettle to keep the house warm within its icy boulders. The floor was mostly covered by skins of animals of the wild and farmlands. Trophies were gathered from the sinister creatures known as the void beasts, which came from a mysterious origin. It was believed that these creatures spawned out of what the people called the void, the very source of evil and impurity from which all negative things came. Death, pestilence, abuse, fear, these were things of the void, and the influence of the void caused people to get enticed by it. Through it they did great evil, stealing, murder, anger, slander, greed, and so much more of the range of behavior that brought suffering, and through these acts the void grew stronger, and it was believed that out of this evil and impurity the void beasts spawned. The elder council was the administrative and religious leaders of the town, and was known to be in connection with the mystical revered beings of light called the Mistranai, from the land of Mistoria, or commonly known as the Mist Mountains, far in the north. The people of this village religiously revered the Mistranai, and yet few truly believed they existed. They greatly feared the north, and even more the frozen plains known as Frost, that lay beyond the Frost River in the west, where people were never allowed to go. To mention the word north or west was considered taboo, although it was believed that that was their origin. The first people of their kind, the Franai, came from the western Frost, a place shadowed in white mystery and dread, a history long forgotten, the forefathers' ancient soul living in the people, not wishing to remember at all. It was in this village a boy was born during the coming of the 11th eclipse on the day of noonday of rough tide, of full moon, of blue sun, of the 10th eclipse of the 19th age. His name was Rodin.